In problem 4, we will apply the properties of zero and negative exponents to this real-world situation. Let's read the problem. A population of insects triples every week. The number of insects is modeled by the expression 5,400 times 3 to the power of w, where w is the number of weeks after the population was measured. Evaluate the expression for w equals -2, w equals 0, and w equals 1. What does each value of the expression represent in this situation? So now, let's start with what we know. We know that 5,400 times 3 to the power of w models, in other words, represents the population of, insects. What do we need? We are asked to find the population at w equals -2, w equals 0, and w equals 1. What do each of these represent? W equals -2, so negative in this case would represent 2 weeks before. So 2 weeks before the measurement or the count of the insects. And w equals 0 means or represents the week of the measurement. Week of measurement. So the week that the insects were counted. Week of measurement. And lastly, w equals 1 represents 1 week after. So that's 1 week after the insects were originally measured or counted. What is our plan to figure out these values, the population sizes? Our plan is to substitute, which some of you might refer to as, so AKA, we will refer to as plugging in or plug in. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do this for each of the 3 values of w. So first we have 5,400 times 3 to the power of -2. So I will first write that down. And now notice we have a power with a negative exponent. So recall that that means we need to turn it into a positive, in this case by bringing it down to the denominator. So that becomes 3 to the power of 2. So now let's go ahead and simplify. So this becomes 5,400. 3 to the power of 2 is 9. So 5,400 divided by 9, which is 600. So 600 what? 600 insects. That is the first population, which was 2 weeks prior to the measurement. Now, the second part, we have 5,400 times 3 to the power of 0. So recall that anything to the power of 0 is 1. So this becomes 5,400 times 1. And 5,400 times 1 is itself, so 5,400 insects. That's how many we have on the day or the week of the measurement. Lastly, we go back to our original model, 5,400 times 3 to the power of 1. So anything to the power of 1 is itself. So this is equal to 5,400 times 3. And when you multiply this out, you get 16,200. And remember, we're talking about insects. So we have 16,200 insects 1 week after the original measurement. This is how you evaluate exponential expressions using the properties of zero and negative exponents.